it's really important to get yourself organized when you do get your MPC XL and you're sitting around trying to get everything figured out. The best thing to do is get some samples, right? So you've got a lot of samples here. As you can see, some of the expensive packs have some pretty nice samples you can use to get started out with. But the best thing to do is build your banks up. Now here's a bank. This is bank A. You'll see here this is lit, right? And this is bank B, and that's lit B. You know, this is C, and that's D. And as I hit these banks, you'll notice these pads are all colored. There are sounds here. So, for example, all the kick drums are red. All the the snare drums and the claps and another snare drum are right here. They're all going to be the same color. All right, my hi-hats and metal sounds will be this orange color right here. Some sort of weird effect sound. Sometimes I have this purple or even as blue. Here, my bass lines will tend to be green. And that's the way also it is here in this machine. I prefer to keep it this way. This way, when I'm unconsciously hitting the pads, I know what they are quicker rather than having to, what's that pad that's blank? I go to my next bank here and I have a different look here. All similar sounds that do some of the same things. This could be like pretty much a snare drum type. So I would use this like it was a snare drum. Of course, red again. That's my kick drum, right? And I come here again, I've got other sounds here. A hi-hat. That's a snare drum but with an effect on it, see that? So sounds that have effects on them, I generally don't put them in a row like this. A snare drum, it'll be an effect sound. And I'll have a different color for that. So get yourself organized. Again, and he's going to be all the same thing. Similar. And then he's going to be all the same idea of the metal. There you go. And bank D. The snare drum, different sound with effect on it. And those are the banks. Now I can also have more banks. I can press shift here. I'll hit here, and now that's E bank, but this is blank. Nothing's here in E, F, G, and H. And I could fill those up too. Now what I tend to do in my own kits, I will fill that up too as well. But not always. I want to make sure I have plenty of space for samples I have to use it for a client or for different sounds I may need. And so I do create some space, but I will probably have my first 4 banks full. And it's important for you to get yourself organized so you can have that happen for you too as well. Now to fill these sounds up on banks is pretty easy. So let's do that right now. We're going to go over here, and right here we have this right here, and I'm going to hit that right now. Boom. And we're right here, and we're in sample assign. I can come to here, I'll hit this, and now we're back where the samples are right here. I have places, content, expansions right here. And I go to sample assign, when I fill them up, my samples will be here in this sample pool. A pool full of samples. And I can select a sample and put it to a pad. I can hit this set right here. I know that's a pad. So this actually is an emulation of what we see here on the pads. And I can hit this and get the same thing that happens with the pads on my touch screen, which is kind of cool, really. And so you also notice too, the colors are gone. If I have an A bank here, you see this is A bank right there. I still can hit right here, and now it shows me B bank right here, all right? I got these sounds all right there. I can hit a bank here. So you see I hit these banks, those colored pads are not there anymore. Now it's just yellow. So I can go back and change pads or put a different sound I want to put there. I can clear a pad. I'll hit a pad and clear that pad. I come to this pad, I say, let's clear this pad out right here. Okay, I'll clear that pad out. I'll press clear pad, and it's gone. I can press undo, and it's back. All right. I can clear a pad out. Got a green border there. I can put a sound there. I'm gonna drag this sound right over here. It's right there now. Whoa, that's the sound. I don't want that. I'm gonna press undo and undo again, And I'm back where I was at before right now with this one. Perfect. So you can do and undo whenever you want to as well. This way you can pick the sound, get the sound not bad. I can come there also and clear this pad out. And I say I want to get that sound over there. I'll clap this twice. And that sound's now over there. I tapped it, I dragged it. You've got the idea. This is how you work with your MPC XL or Live 3 or the other MPCs. So this is a really cool way to do it. So I can go back again, press undo, undo, and I'm back to where I started from. And I've got this sound, it's back again. But this is how we work with our banks. So you can get your pool filled here and you're good to go. And you can start placing your samples where you want to place them on your bank pads. Now to get sounds and you need sounds and you want to get some, a lot of them come with our MPCs. And we have tons of them at our website too that you get by being a member. But also what you need to do is load them in. So once you load them in, it's cool, but you got to load them in another way too. You got to find them and load them into the machine. Then place them on the pad. And we do all that here in this section here. It's that sample assign, of course, is the same button that goes back and forth to this one page. And this page we have places. So there could be places I have samples on. I could have it in some special place. I could have it maybe like right here and here. I have there's an MPC documents folder here. And I may tap right here, MPC documents folder. I may have a lot of stuff here in this MPC documents folder of all different stuff I actually have that is my own things I've loaded in here. And you will see a lot of stuff in here, of course. And you'll see it come up here, different kits and stuff, documents that are in the machine that I put in myself. I can also go to say I got a hard drive here, other stuff too, but I have places that are also content that's already on the machine. Drums, instruments, demos, we have samples, and we have my files, right? Now demos are right here. And all the demos that we have, as you see when you load up, are going to be right here. To load a demo up, you can load a demo up and get its samples as well. Now, we have expansions here too as well. I come to here, and expansions have a lot of different files in, and expansions have drum sounds and some loop ideas and ideas of how to use an expansion kit. So the kit will have several different sounds in it, and you'll be able to load the entire kit in and use the kit. Now, for example, I would come to here, let's say, that says expansions, right? And I would see this XPJ file. Now, XPJ indicates that this is an expansion file. And so it would have an expansion kit in here somewhere. That's what that would be. When I come to here, these would be SXQ. That's a sequence file. These are sequences that would have the particular drum sounds and also sequence how those sounds are played. When I come to here, this is our track, or before it's called a program, but our track now. And this track would have all the samples where they fit on the pads, of course, the tuning of all those sounds, and of course they'd be on the pads, and they might have different colors tied to them too as well, and you'd work that also. Now here's the plugin. We'll cover that some other time. And here we have samples. I can get just the samples themselves. I come to here, and you see they're almost in alphabetical order, just claps only. Now right here you'll see a little like triangle right there, and I tap here, and now it's going reverse order. These are just voices.
Hey! Hey! Oh!
I can move, turn the data wheel. So you can find samples you want to use that are in these expansions. And it's so cool, a way to find them. You take them, you load them in right here, say, what's this one here? Let's go to here. And load that in. And now loaded. It's loaded into the system. And you got it. So you can load sounds in whenever you want to load sounds in. And I put it there because this pad was already highlighted. Let's undo that. And it's back to where it was before. Perfect. Now, let's go back. So here also, you're going to notice here there's one more right there, and that has everything, all the files. Just like a bunch of files here lined up. And these are just files. So all the files will appear there. Whether they're wave files, whatever files we've got there. Let's turn this around again. I can hit this arrow button for the different way that's going to be alphabetized, either downward or up. And so I can see everything. Now also right here, we have our browser options. So I can do show file name, show modified date, and show the date that file was created. And I can select all this and I would show me this, and that, of course, and I would see those parameters when searching. Now generally I don't need this myself, so I'll keep that off, but if you want to, you can add that when you do your search. Now I can also do a search based on a name. So here we can see it's alphabetized and I have the arrow here pointing up, so we're going from A to Z, descending order. I come here, I'm going to find some snare drums. So I have selected there these samples. Matter of fact, let's see that again. Right here, I'm in samples right here. And I'll go to search right there. I want to put snare. And I'll say do it. And now it'll populate with all the snare drums that are in this particular expansion. And I can scroll through them. Now I can scroll through them using my data wheel, and sometimes they're not loud enough. You may want them louder. So I'll go to here where it says audition, tap on that, and you see here it's at minus 6.04 dB. So I can use this little thing right here and move it up somewhat, and now it's louder. I also have auto. I have sync on, and I have warp. Now I'll tap into this again, and I'll turn down. I can hear it again. So this button allows me to hear it again by just tapping that button, this little arrow, and I can hear back what's going on with that particular sample. We got some samples in there. You know something, we can actually load up a whole track. So here we go, and I have tracks I can load in, right? Oh, you see no tracks here because the search is there. See this? I'm trying to find something, I see nothing. Because the problem is there's something here in my search. It's still gonna look for snares, it's looking for snares constantly. So when you get this, make sure you clear out the search. And now we can see what's going on. So here, as you can see here right now, this signifies track, or in the old days, program. And so here I have this thing going on where I got the tracks right here, and the name of each track right here, and I can hear what those tracks are. Now I can also just come down here and turn my data wheel. So I turn it down, it goes selects the first thing on top there, and then I want to hear probably. So now we can hear any track or program by just turning our data wheel. It'll play back all the sounds that were used in the particular sequence that was created, so you can hear back all the sounds that are being used. So here, I can go to the next one. Right? Go to this one here. I can use this button here also, not to hear it back, but also to stop it, which is a great way to stop something you're hearing back and you just not like it or not. Now also, I can see these as a track or a program, as I said before, but they also come with a sequence. This is why they're playing back. It's a sequence of those sounds played in a certain order, so you can hear them so they sound appealing to you, right? I'll come to here, and this is sequence, and this is the name of the sequence for those sounds. So I can come to here, for example, I would just load in the kit. Let's just load the entire kit, which would be this track or program. If I come to here, I will load in the kit plus this sequence. If I come down to here, I'll move my data wheel down. I get to here. See, I do this right now. You hear nothing, right? Nothing at all. But I know this matches the kit I heard before. Read this one I just heard just a minute ago, right? And I'll press load right here. Oh, replace the project with this sequence file or append the tracks to the existing. Let's do replace all. Oop. 2 plugins failed to load. Compressor, master, and parametric EQ 4-band. So go back to here. Okay, so they failed to load. So let's see what's happening here. Nothing. So is this the kit? And we're going to go see back if we have this loading or not. And we go back to our grid, and we see nothing. So it didn't load because it was missing some information. Let's see. Yes, it was. So the sequence doesn't load. So be aware of that too. When you are trying to load a sequence, sometimes these things won't load, and I have no idea why that is. So some of the expansions will load, some won't, and all the sounds will not appear there. So here I'm going back to bank A, and my sounds are here though. So all the sounds are right there for us to play with. We just don't have the sequence that was used to play. As you can see right there. We go to arrange and we go to grid and it's not there at all. Nor is it in clip. Nor do we see it here in the list. That's important to do, but you can load the samples in. It's important to know that sometimes not everything will load. Now next I want to talk about one more thing right here. This P right here, that's for the project. If I want to load an entire project, this may consist of all the samples that I've saved that I've been using in the kit trying to develop a sound or a project. I'll just click on it right here with load up, and that's an XPJ file. And you can save those too as well. And that's pretty much how we use everything inside our system, and places as well. Let's say if I have a hard drive in here, I would go to places and find that hard drive and load from that hard drive too as well, that you can install in the back of your MPC XL. Now the easiest way to get around this section is very simple. All you want to do is press Shift, and I can press Pad Assign, and that's in the red. Leave my finger up, I'll press it again, and now that's Browser. So I can use the browser, or once I get my samples, go to Pad Assign.